Hello guys, in this video I am going to discuss some of the previous year questions from Osmania University chemistry entrance exam. Here the first question is, which of the following oxide of nitrogen does not act as reducing agent? We have four options. Here, which compound does not act as reducing agent? So the main term here is reducing agent. Reducing agent is any chemical species which undergoes oxidation and reduces other species. For example, when we have Zn and CuSO4, it becomes ZnSO4 plus Cu. Here zinc is in zero oxidation state and copper sulfate, here in copper sulfate, copper is in +2 oxidation, and in product side we have zinc sulfate. Here zinc is in +2 oxidation state and copper is in zero oxidation state. So from zero oxidations to +2, it is oxidation, we know that. And here copper sulfate to copper, it is reduction, because by gaining 2 electrons its oxidation state is reduced to 0, from +2 to 0 it becomes reduced, and here it is increased from 0 to +2. So this is the oxidation and this is the reduction. So here zinc is the species which undergoes oxidation and reduced other chemical species. Here it loses 2 electrons and becomes +2, and these two lost electrons are gained by copper +2 and it becomes copper, zero oxidation state. So now the zinc is said to be reducing agent, and copper sulfate, here copper is said to be oxidizing agent. Zinc is reducing agent and copper is oxidizing agent. So now our question is, by observing this, the reducing agent should have at least variable oxidation states. So now we know that nitrogen can have oxidation states possible from -3 to +5. Behind this +5 oxidation state, nitrogen does not undergo oxidation because there is no electrons in it for losing. So now in first option, NO, here oxygen is having -2 charge and nitrogen is having +2 charge. So it can undergo oxidation from +2 to +3 or +4 or +5. There may be chances. And here for NO2 we have 2 oxygens. Each oxygen is -2. 2 into -2 it becomes -4, and on nitrogen it is +4. So there may be a chance of undergoing oxidations to +5 oxidation state. From +4 to +5 there may be a chance. When it comes to N2O, it is having -2 for oxygen, and for with respect to one nitrogen it is +1. So we have 2 nitrogens. That's why we have, for with respect to one nitrogen it is +1. And when it comes to nitrogen pentoxide, here we have 5 oxygen atoms. 5 into -2 it is -10. So for we have 2 nitrogen atoms by 2, it is 5. For with respect to one nitrogen it is +5, and we have 2 nitrogens, so +5 and +5. So in this nitrogen there is no it is exist in its highest oxidation state. There is no possible of undergoing oxidation by losing its electron. So the fourth option is correct, because this nitrogen is in highest oxidation state. So it does not undergo further oxidation by losing its electrons, because there is no electrons for lose. So our fourth option is correct. Here our next question is brown ring test for nitrate ion depends upon. So this brown ring test is it's a confirmation test for nitrate ion. So for this test we have to follow the procedure as, first of all let us consider this as a test tube. To this test tube take aqueous solution that having nitrate ions, and then add dilute FeSO4, that is ferrous sulfate solution. So this mixture add concentrated H2SO4 very carefully, dropping the H2SO4 from the sides of the test tubes, and there will be an interference which is observed at the junction of these two solutions, and you will be notified that a brown ring is observed at the junction of these two solutions, which indicates nitrate ions are present in that solution moment. So the complex there we have observed is this is a complex we have observed there, which is having 5 aqua molecules and nitrosyl group along with ferrous iron, that is, and it is having +2 and -2. Here the oxidation state of iron is +1 because aqua molecule is a neutral one, and it is having +1 charge. So Fe is having the overall charge on the oxidation state on iron is +1. So this is another question very important to remember, that iron in brown ring complexes exist with +1 oxidation state. So our question is brown ring test for nitrate ion depends on. Here this nitrate ion is exist with +5 oxidation state. So in this there is no possible for the to undergo the oxidation state for this nitrate ion, because it is having maximum oxidation state +5. So there is a possible of undergoing reduction. So it undergoes reduction and forms nitric oxide. So our options are reduction of ferrous sulfate to iron, no, reduction of nitrate ion to nitric acid is the correct option for this question. So now in this our next question, which of the following sets represents a correct order of paramagnetic property? Here they given some of the transition elements, so we have to calculate the paramagnetic property of that series. So this was a very easy question based on the number of unpaired electrons present in the respective orbitals of the elements. So for solving this question, we have to know the electronic configuration of that particular elements given. Here we know that manganese is having valency electronic configuration as 3d5 4s2. So it loses 2 electrons from this outermost shell because it is having +2 oxidation state. So it loses 2 electrons, and we have 5 unpaired electrons in d orbital. So higher the number of unpaired electrons, greater is the paramagnetic property of that particular element. So manganese is having 5 unpaired electrons, so it should have highest paramagnetic nature. And when we consider this chromium +2, it is having 3d5 4s1 in neutral form when it is chromium, but it is +2 oxidation state, so it loses 2 electrons, one from 4s orbital and one from 3d orbital, and it becomes 3d4. So it is having 4 unpaired electrons. And when it comes to vanadium +2, in vanadium it is having 3d3 4s2, so it loses 2 electrons from here, and it is having 3 unpaired electrons. When it comes to copper is having 3d10 4s1, but it is in +2 oxidation state, so it loses 2 electrons from 4s and 3d orbital and it becomes 3d9. So it is having only one unpaired electron, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So it is having only one unpaired electron. So we know that paramagnetic nature of a particular atom or a substance depends upon the number of unpaired electrons present in that particular thing. So here the least one with paramagnetic nature is copper, because it is having only one unpaired electron. So least one is copper and highest one is manganese, because it is having maximum number of unpaired electrons. And next we have chromium with 4 unpaired electrons and vanadium with 3 unpaired electrons. So chromium is the next one after manganese and next one is vanadium. So this is the order we have to choose from the options. So our first option is similar to our option, so option 1 is correct. The next question here, lanthanide contraction is caused due to. So this due to the poor shielding of 4f orbital. The option is the imperfect shielding of outer electrons by 4f electrons from the nuclear charge. Here the next question is number of lone pair of electrons in xenon compounds, that is XeF2, XeF4 and XeF6 are respectively. So they given xenon compounds and we have to calculate the number of unpaired lone pair electrons present in that compounds. Here in xenon F2, we know that xenon is a inert gas element which is having NS2 NP6 configuration. So we have 8 electrons in its valency. So arrange that electrons around the xenon according to the Lewis draw structure. Just pair it with the one unpaired electrons present in the fluorine, that is NS2 NP5. So this unpaired electron can be paired up with this xenon electron. Therefore it forms 2 bonds. We have 3 lone pair of electrons around the xenon atom. We have 3 lone pair electrons around the xenon atom. So we have in option 2 1 4 3. So here we have 3, and when it comes to XeF4, here just draw a bond with each fluorine atom, and we have 2 lone pair electrons. So C. And the next one is XeF6. Just form a bond with each fluorine atom using 1 electron. So here it left with 1 pair of electrons, so it is 1. So our fourth option is correct. When it comes to the next question, which of the following boron is known as inorganic benzene? We know that inorganic benzene is said to borazine or borazole. So here the structure of this borazine is N B N B N B N. So this is the structure of borazine. Here our next question is, when dilute HCl is added to an inorganic compound, a gas with rotten egg smell is evolved, which turns lead acetate paper black. The anion present in the compound is. So they given some identification tools. They mention rotten egg smell. So when we observe in our laboratories, there is a gas which is very fleshy and very inconvenient to smell it, that is H2S gas, which we say that as rotten egg smell. So in that we know that as S minus 2, that is sulfide ions are present, H2S. so this is the anion present in the compound. And the next question is, when H2S gas is passed into acidified salt solution, yellow precipitate is formed. The cation present in that salt solution is, this is cation group identifications. Here when H2S gas treated with Pb plus 2, that is lead, it gives black precipitate, and when it treated with copper, it gives it also gives black precipitate, but it is second group in the cation grouping. Hg2 plus, that is mercury, insoluble, it gives insoluble sulfides, and when it comes to cadmium plus 2, it gives yellow precipitate. So this is the correct option. So thanks for watching. For any other doubts, do comment and share with your friends.